Good evening and welcome to another edition of Tell Vanessa. I'm your host Vanessa Cruikshank and we have another fun-filled show where current affairs meets reality talk. Each and every week we cover an interesting topical debate, highlight a community issue or business, and then you tell me your dilemmas. Then we finish with some good music. So for the next 30 minutes, sit back, relax and enjoy. Tell Vanessa.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa.
Your hair is your crown and glory. It's the first thing that people notice and the thing that tends to get attention from men and women. But black women face shade from every direction about their hair. If your hair is weaved, you're trying to be too European. If your hair is relaxed, you have low self-esteem for chemically processing your hair. If your hair is natural, you're too rootsy, maybe a little too black. These comments come from every ethnicity and every direction and is targeted at the black women. So for me, why all the shade? I'm more than just my hair. So to discuss, we have three beautiful women who are more than just their hair. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
So tell the viewers who you are.
I'm Jen, I'm a hair enthusiast and I'm a model.
I'm Janine, I'm the founder of Black Beauty Industry and I'm producing a documentary called My Beauty, My Story.
Hello, I'm Charlene and I'm a cosmetic formulator. I recently just launched my natural hair care business called Charlene's Hairipy.
So ladies, you heard my opening statement. The reason I decided to do this show was for a number of reasons. First, a brother came up to me and said, you need to do a show on black women wearing weave because I hate it. I was like, okay. And then a woman said to me that she wears weaves and wigs because actually she feels that if she had her hair in her natural state, that many brothers wouldn't even speak to her. Yeah. And for me, a lady came up to me recently who had locks and said to me, why do you relax your hair? Don't you know it's not good for you? I said, oh, I don't relax my hair. I haven't relaxed my hair for the last 6 years. Then why are you wearing your hair like that? Don't you love yourself? I was like, okay. So for me, I was thinking, gosh, I'm more than just my hair. Is this all we've got to talk about? So let me ask you, why do you actually wear weave?
I wear weave for so many different reasons. I would say the most reason for me is just because I'm lazy. I think if I have my natural hair, there's a lot more that goes into making it look good every single day when I'm going out. And that's, you know, it literally takes a whole day for you to put the products in, make sure it's conditioned, make sure there's like the tangles are free, and you know, I just find that whole process and stage really long for myself. I prefer waking up in the morning, comb my hair, I'm good to go. I don't really have the time to sit there and go for this natural look.
So what do you think when you hear lots of people say that because you actually wear weave, you don't like yourself, you're trying to be too European, yeah, and you're trying to almost attain to standards that are not your own?
What I would say to that is that's not true. I love myself, I love my hair. My actual natural hair is like long enough. However, again, it takes a long time for me to keep it the way I need it to be. And so I would say anyone that wants to have their hair in anyhow they want to have it, I think they should just be happy with whatever they have. I mean, if you want to have your hair natural, you can have your hair natural. If you want to have your hair straight and long and nice and weave, if you can have weave if you want. That doesn't mean you don't love yourself. That doesn't mean you're trying to be European or anything, because even European people, they crimp their hair, they curl their hair, they put a lot of things in there that, you know, makes it look a bit more...
And they wear weave.
And they wear weave. Extensions, call it whatever you want. They wear it all. So really and truly, I'm who I am and I love my hair. So.
Okay. So Janine, you actually did a documentary all about hair. Why did you actually decide to do that?
Well, I had seen a lot of documentaries from an African-American perspective and I really wanted to get out our experience in Britain, just looking at our experiences growing up, our role models, perhaps how we're perceived in the workplace, just for black and mixed women to tell their story to an international audience. And yeah, so this is something I'm really excited about. And
so you heard my opening.
Yes. Yeah.
How does that relate to the people that you've spoken to within your documentary?
I think it relates very well, very closely. You'll go into, I've heard stories about people's experiences in the workplace saying that their hair is unacceptable. I've heard girls talk about how they don't personally believe that they would be well received with their natural hair. I've heard people who have spoken about how they're constantly bullied for having a weave. So just a wide variety of experiences has just brought me to the conclusion that regardless of how we present ourselves, we are going to be criticised. So we should just be comfortable with who we are.
So here in the studio, we've got a natural array of different styles here. We've got natural, we've got braids, we've got weave, we've got just straight hair. So Charlene, tell me a little bit about yourself and your story about why you decided to start your product.
Yeah, basically, before, I think over about 5 years ago, I used to relax my hair and wear it straight and also wear weave. But I did start experience a few difficulties like hair loss and severe dandruff. So then I just thought I would start exploring other options, more natural alternatives, you know. So that's how I then started researching and managed to create my own business. And I just, you know, weave and relaxers are not for everybody. So, you know, there's an option to use your natural hair. And I'm more, you know, just there to help women that want to embrace their natural hair.
Society holds up the Eurocentric model of beauty. So the long hair, that's what we're told is very beautiful and that's what you should aspire to look like. So even when you were younger and you had dolls, what did your dolls look like? They all had long, straight hair. So I remember when I was younger and you used to have to wear a stocking to bed, do you remember? And you used to like it when it was long because then you could shave your hair and actually just pretend that you had long hair. So it's not surprising that actually a lot of people grow up and that is the aspiration that they aspire to, long hair. And it's also the aspiration that the brothers want black women to have long, straight hair. But a lot of the time your natural hair isn't long and straight, yeah? So tell me, is that why you decided to wear your hair in weave?
I wouldn't really say for me it's men that made me wear weave. I would say what made me wear weave, I tried it for the first time and I never wanted to go back. Because again, it's so easy to keep, it's so easy to just get on with your day. I mean, a man that wants me to have a natural hair, he needs to really think about that because you also hear like, you know, when women are talking, they make their jokes and say like men hate women in all those like head wraps, they're the ones with the attitude, they say, you know, and head wraps means at night you're having your natural hair and you're bothering yourself, doing all these things. No, when I get home from work, I want to watch EastEnders, I want to do my thing. Literally, I don't want to have time to sit there and just hurting myself for no apparent reason when I can just wake up in the morning, brush it, goodbye, I'm good to go.
Well, there are double standards because Kylie Jenner had her hair in cane row and she was told that she's a trendsetter. But the same women who've been wearing their hair in cane row, like that with the big plaits, they were told that they're too ghetto. So there are double standards. But when a brother will actually say that he wants to meet a woman with natural hair, what do you think the brother actually means? Because I did try and get a guy to come on here on the studio and talk to us about that. What do you think he actually means?
I would say definitely, I think he means having it just straight on its own without no weave, I would say. But then again, natural hair is not just straight. You have to straighten it. You have to do something. This is the
bit that we get to because when I went to find out what he means, he does mean your hair relaxed. That is it in his natural state. That's what they think you should be aspiring to.
Yeah, absolutely. And even when you see the images of natural hair, sometimes you don't see the diversity of natural hair within black women. You may see looser curls or long curls. You won't really see perhaps the very short 4C thick coarse hair. And I think what needs to be presented is the complete diversity within black women of natural hair, which is definitely not presented when a man approaches you and says, I want your hair to be natural, I want your hair to look like this. Well, maybe my hair doesn't look like this.
But I think we have quite a difficult political relationship with our hair. I think if you think about our relationship with relaxers, I'm sure everybody here has actually relaxed their hair at some point.
Of course.
Yeah? And you remember that when you actually relaxed your hair, you didn't care that it was burning. You would want that relaxer to stay on your hair for as long as possible so that your hair could be as straight as possible. And now research is actually saying that women who've been relaxing their hair, it's linked with all kinds of health concerns, and they've done research in America. So the fact that we put ourselves through all of that to change the texture and change the course, when I actually stopped relaxing my hair 6 years ago, it was the best thing I ever did. But it doesn't mean that I still don't want my hair to be straight occasionally. I don't mind. I wear my hair straight, my hair curly, plaits, weave. I think that you should be able to do anything that you want.
And I think even in the workplace, you hear a number of stories of women who are told perhaps not to put braids in their hair.
Heard that one, yeah.
And not to wear their hair afro. I mean, even at school, I was at school and I heard a number of stories of young black girls who got in trouble for the way their hair was. And their hair may have been in a big afro or in an afro puff.
But you actually said that, didn't you? You said that when you were at school,
Yeah.
you actually had an issue with not having your hair relaxed.
Yeah, you know, I mean, when I first started myself, I wouldn't say that I came out all like with my weave and everything. I literally did have short hair and afro puffy hair that hardly like tried my best to put into a ponytail sometimes. And at school, you know, there's the popular group, and if you sort of look within the popular group, you see like the girls there, they have their nice hair, and you know, whether it's natural, it's still long enough to go into a ponytail and do some different type of hairstyle with, you know. And I just felt that didn't make me feel good, and I wanted to feel good. And what makes me feel good now is my mum relaxed my hair. I loved it. She put some weave in, and I was excited. So you know, for me, it's just I'm happy with my hair the way it is. I came into school and everyone was like, "Oh, Jen, you look different. Thank you." You know, so, you know, I'm just happy with whatever I go with. And I would like for everybody, if you have your natural hair, afro, puffy, twist, braids, I mean, definitely it's understandable as she was mentioning, you know, at work, it's a bit different and stuff. I mean, there's certain levels to that because you yourself have to look at yourself and think, do I look presentable? Do I look like somebody that they want to speak with and have business?
Charlene, let me just ask you then, because you just heard Jen say a lot about the products and not finding the right products.
Yeah, sure.
How would you respond to that?
I get quite a lot of customers like that in the beginning saying their hair's dry, hair loss, I can't manage, help. What I say in the first instance is just talk me through your issues and your symptoms, and then we'll look at solutions to that. And then we develop a simple regime, and once you stick with that, you're sorted. It's all about finding the regime that works for your hair and sticking to it, sticking to the same products and just keep going, that's all.
So ladies, we talked about diversity within the hair industry. How do you think we can go about providing solutions that actually anyone can do what they want with their hair and feel proud and they're not getting shade from every single direction?
I would say we start on the telly. That's where we see everything that's going on. That's where all the popular things go on. That's where everyone gets their trends from. So if they want to start on telly and have different hair products or like natural hair, if they want to have more natural hair people on telly, you know, with their afros, with their dreadlocks, with whatever it is that you want to have in your hair, I think they should definitely have a variety on telly, and that would help a lot more people.
And Janine, because you did the documentary, a number of solutions must have come out of this.
Oh, absolutely. And I think a key solution that stood out to me related to the whole natural hair movement and just the diversity of beauty that we see in America on social media, all of this black girl magic. And I think if that transcends to the UK, perhaps young girls will grow up and say, I am beautiful. I can wear my hair natural.
As they want, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what about you, Charlene?
Yeah, I would say it starts in the home environment, just educating our children on healthier hairstyles. That's all. That's my passion. I don't feel that relax is the most healthiest choice for the children. So
It's definitely not for children.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you do see that in
Not
our
even for
community.
adults, yeah.
So more education. We need to push more healthy options out there, more education in the home, and even the men need the education as well. You know, some of the information that they're promoting, that they want natural hair when they're really talking about straight hair that's been relaxed. Even they need educating, but we can do it with research, starting at home and then taking it into the schools as well.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Black women should have the freedom to explore and figure out what fits best their style and how they feel most comfortable without receiving backlash because they're not fulfilling someone else's standard of blackness. You can't live your life for someone else. You can only live it for yourself. So let's stop hating on ourselves and just embrace our choices, whether it's weaving, relaxing, braids or natural, because I am more than just my hair.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa. I need a plumber and a gardener too. An electrician who can work for you. What do I want?
Looking for a plumber or a gardener or searching for a trader in your area? Then go to ineedatrader.com for all your trade needs under one roof. ineedatrader.com.
I need a plumber and a gardener too. An electrician who can work for you. What do I want? I need a trader.com. What do I want? I need a trader.com.
Looking for a plumber or a gardener or searching for a trader in your area? Then go to ineedatrader.com for all your trade needs under one roof. ineedatrader.com.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa.
Every week we highlight a community issue or business, and our business feature today is a company called Catch Me Cupid, which is an exclusive matchmaking service catering for the busy professional, entrepreneurs, and many high-profile clients. Anyone that's ever watched reality TV has probably watched with fascination The Millionaire Matchmaker. So let's meet the UK's very own exclusive matchmaker, Siobhan Copland, director and founder of Catch Me Cupid. Good evening, Siobhan.
Good evening, Vanessa. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So what was the inspiration behind Catch Me Cupid?
Well, essentially, it seems to be there's a bit of an epidemic of singletons, especially in the UK. In London alone, there's more than 50% of people here are single. So it's clearly a problem that needs addressing. I so happen to know a lot of single people, and I kind of had the idea about connecting them for doing events and things, and I thought, well, what's a more direct way of actually introducing them? I did actually read as well that it was a career, matchmaking, so that kind of opened my eyes to it being an actual business opportunity, so I thought, why not?
So there's lots of online dating companies and dating companies out there. What makes you different? Because you advertise and say that you're exclusive.
Absolutely. I think the thing with online is people often don't actually end up being anything like what they portray themselves to be online. Yeah. So I actually take time to screen people out, to see what they're really about, to find out, their values, whether or not they're relationship ready, and what they're really in the market for, because people are on these apps signing up, takes a quick minute to do. A lot of the time it has been found they're either in relationships or they're not really ready for something serious.
So what does relationship ready mean?
You've got to be in the right frame of mind. I mean, you've got to be not just thinking you want to fill some void in your life, but actually that you have something to give and something to offer. And, you're ready to put the work in, because relationships take work.
So it's quite an intimate service. So do you provide things like makeovers as well?
Absolutely. I think that's the thing with a lot of people, particularly if they've come out of a long-term relationship. Sometimes they may be lacking a bit of confidence, as well as maybe not updated their style in a while. And I kind of have a bit of a chat to them and say, look, hey, you're back out there in the dating game now. Times have changed, and it's time to update your preferences, the way you approach it, and your style too. So we go out shopping, get some photos done, and the whole shebang.
So why do you think there's so many people out there at the moment that are single?
I think a lot of people are definitely putting the careers first. There's a lot of people that are very, very busy, working longer hours. And, at the end of the day, you come home from work, you just about have time to see your family and friends. You get to a certain age and you haven't really got that many single friends anymore. They're either married, they've got their families. So the actual opportunities to meet someone become slimmer. So it's just getting a lot harder, because as well as that, there's people out there that are using the apps, and as I say, they're meeting a lot of people who are time wasters, and then they end up just getting put off the whole process of actually meeting someone anyway.
So tell me a little bit about some of your success stories.
We've got quite a few. We have a few engagements. We had a couple just had a baby last month as well, nice. And a couple that moved in together, lived abroad to Spain a few months back as well. So yeah, it's really exciting. I'm looking forward to wearing my hat to a few weddings.
So who is the woman behind Catch Me Cupid?
Well, I'm still fairly young. I've just turned 30 years old myself. I'm going to be a mother soon.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. And I've always just been a person that's kind of believed in myself, really, to be honest. As I say, you don't need to go to university to become a matchmaker. I've gone to the University of Life. I didn't go to any other university.
Okay.
I've worked in the corporate field for a number of years. But I just kind of felt that it was time to branch out. I got made redundant from the last kind of employment that I had. Okay. And just decided to take the leap and, start my own thing, and have just, gone.
And it's been successful ever since.
Yeah, absolutely. No turning back.
So there are a lot of women who want to get into business. What advice would you give them?
I would say women generally are quite cautious about things. They're kind of like low risk. That's why car insurance is supposed to be cheaper for us.
Okay.
And it's like, I don't want to leave that security of this job. But you know what? There's no security with a job.
Not nowadays.
Not now. There's no such thing. You could be in a job for 10 years and suddenly you get called in and told, sorry, we've got to let you go.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, nothing is ever promised, nothing's ever guaranteed. Life is short. Mm-hmm. So I would say if there's something that you've been meaning to do and want to do, and maybe you are feeling unsure about where your job's going, maybe now's the time to really start and actually think about what your passions are and just go for it.
So how can people join the exclusive club, Catch Me Cupid?
So you'd have to go to the website, which is catchmecupid.co.uk, make an inquiry there, and you can meet for a coffee with either myself or a member of the team.
Sounds lovely. Thanks so much for coming, Siobhan.
Thanks again for having me.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa.
Welcome to Dilemma Time, and we've got a really good dilemma for you this evening from a lady called Kay. I'm in my early 30s and have just started seeing this guy. 3 dates in total, which was all going great except for one thing. He keeps blowing hot and cold. It's bewildering. Affectionate, caring, looking at me all gooey-eyed, interested, dare I say, captivated. And this is all in person, but yet hardly texts, let alone calls when we're apart. We even discussed this, him being part-time, and he seemed genuinely remorseful. So it came as a big surprise when he did it yet again. Great date on Saturday, now it's Monday and I've not had a peep, not even a morning text. I then sent quite a frank text, which a good friend of mine said was aggressive. What do I do now? He's actually the guy that I'm attracted to. He ticks all my boxes. I'm dazed and confused. I think you need to relax. It's been 3 dates, not 3 years. You met on Saturday. He's not necessarily going to call you on Monday. At this early stage, it's important for you to be cool. If the guy starts thinking you're being too full on, no matter how much he likes you, he's going to start pulling away. We all want the fairy tale. Meet the man, he falls madly in love with us and pursues us mercilessly. But reality is, this is not Cinderella, it's real life. So my advice is, see him regularly. Don't hassle him about taking a day to call you. Enjoy the experience. Not every date has to be your husband. Women sometimes need to learn to relax and let nature take its course. But like I say every week, this is just my advice. Let's hear what they say on the streets.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa.
I'd say you need to think about it, because if you said it was a good date, and it's Monday and he hasn't texted you back or called you, then he might not be the right one. I mean, you're 30 and you still got time to find someone else. You need to ask him what's going on, and yeah.
Personally, I feel like she should just text him and ask him what he plans to do and where's this plan to go, as she is 30. So I feel like she needs to start finding the right person to move on with her life now and tend to settle down. That's the best. Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't be dating someone who after 3 dates doesn't text me back, doesn't reply to my messages and seems off with me, because there's so many other people in the world. You don't need to be treated that way, and you shouldn't have to ask for an explanation as to why he's treating you badly.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa.
Lady K, I hope you take our advice on board. Like I say each week, a problem shared is a problem halved. So if you've got a problem, email us here at dilemma@tellvanessa.com. I'm sad to say that we come to the end of another great show. I'd like to thank all our guests and thank you for sending in your dilemmas. We're going to end the show with something a little bit different this evening, a slice of energetic hip hop from an artist called K.I.N.E.T.I.K. Good night.
1, 2, ha, it's K.I.N.E.T.I.K, one half of Imperial and K.I.N.E.T.I.K, yeah. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. 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 Yeah, Tell Vanessa and then TV. Tell Vanessa and then TV. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. Listen. My phone is always going crazy with the beeps and the blips, cause I'm either poking on Facebook or tweeting for kicks, checking Instagram to see if someone's peeping the pics. Social networking always keeps me deep in the mix. Now I'm inundated with explicit images of females and writing down my intimate thoughts in vivid detail. Now that's a bit backwards. In fact, it's madness how I can be so busy yet so easily distracted. It's gone from bad to worse, cause once upon a time we used to pray before we ate, but now we take a picture first. We used to tell the truth to each other's faces. Now we're leaking secrets in an updated status, seeking validation in our follows and likes. Invisible anonymity, you'll make us feel invincible. It's got us living in a lie and a dream. Caricatures, flapping jaws from the comfort of behind the screen. I never ever smoke, I barely even drink. I can't dance, so that's why I'd rather sit and think. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. I never hit the clubs, I barely even drink. I can't dance, that's why I'd rather sit and think. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. Taking a late night journey on the 187, deliberating if I'll ever make it to the gates of heaven. I know it's far from a basic question, but then again the fact I'm here and even breathing is a major blessing. But when I wake from resting, I feel as though I spent my days in a daze or a maze or a great depression. So should I make corrections for every past wrong before I pass on? I can't take a chance on the hereafter. It's funny how I'm looked at as the good guy, but look, I never said I was perfect. I'm a church kid and human being with flaws, so no matter what's done or worded, my reasoning is pure. Living with good intentions, I hope to see reciprocated in any lifetime. Even if I'm here or not, I hope we might find our essence and our purpose, and know that it's the hard times that make the lessons worth it. I never ever smoke, I barely even drink. I can't dance, so that's why I'd rather sit and think. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. I never hit the clubs, I barely even drink. I can't dance, so that's why I'd rather sit and think. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. I never ever smoke, I barely even drink. I can't dance, that's why I'd rather sit and think. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. I never hit the clubs, I never even drink. I can't dance, that's why I'd rather sit and think. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. Yeah, K.I.N.E.T.I.K, Adventures in Technicolor. Make sure you go get you some multicolored madness. Take a late night journey on whatever bus goes through your area and zone out over your thoughts. Yeah, Imperial and K.I.N.E.T.I.K, remember the name. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts, I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. I'm zoning out and going over my thoughts. Tell Vanessa, I'm going over my thoughts. I'm going over my thoughts. I'm going over my thoughts, yeah. I'm going over my thoughts. And I'm out.
For more information on all our shows, go to our website or get involved with the discussion and tweet us or Facebook us.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa. Just tell Vanessa now, tell Vanessa now. Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa. Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa now. Tell Vanessa. Tell Vanessa now.